So I was just talking out loud. And I was thinking what I was saying. And I thought I better press record on this one. I was advised to press record on this one. Who comes as an incarnation on Earth? Yeah, I understand you forget, all of your memories of all time taken away from you, and you're placed into this one section of the body. This form becomes a vessel for your soul to grow and make observations and understandings. Who comes down here is like, I see a world, it's perfect, let's fuck it up. Let's just create carnage. Is it not? I'm here, I'm a shepherd. The king gives the prince domain of the kingdom. I am here to domain. So, do I main growth? Or destruction and rebuilding? See, now this is what I find really interesting, is how do you destroy things of this world to create more of this world? Makes no sense when you've got natural pillars of growth. The universe works in complete harmony, complete balance, right? If you take all of the humans off Earth, then maybe there would need more stuff to be done to regain balance. Maybe there wouldn't. It depends whether humans are here to balance out each other, and we are a balance of each other. Let's take Adam and Eve, for example, let's say there was just two of things, and you got Adam and Eve there. Another time in the Bible where they had kids, didn't they? Noah, and I don't recall Noah's Mrs.'s name. Mrs. Ark. I know, my bad. Hello, train. See, anyway, if Adam and Eve are there to be reciprocal of one another, to create that symmetry and that balance, and you take both of them out, the world would still then be balanced. Yeah? Thank you. Okay. So in all the craziness, whoever decided to come here and say, oh, we'll take that bit and we'll put it here of the earth, and we'll dig that out and we'll put it on your hand so you look pretty, and all of this stuff, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about, the gold bangles and the diamond earrings and all kinds of this jewellery and stuff. I get it. And I do like it. I don't actually necessarily have a problem with it as an attachment to this earthly realm. But for me, what I do have a problem with is the fact that we're not making the correct progressions. Yes, we can progress intellectually through the technology that we use. But look at the technology of a tree. All right, look at its imprint it has on the world. It is in complete balance, and this answers that. It is in complete balance with humans. Humans emit carbon dioxide and breathe in oxygen. Trees breathe in carbon dioxide and emit oxygen. Why on earth are you telling me that it's more important, to build all these bloody skyscrapers than to be planting trees? Let's not forget that these trees, they grow food. How is it that we live on an earth where you're able to plant seeds and nurture these seeds to full growth and we're at a place where we can't feed everyone on Earth. We're not at a place where we can't feed anyone on Earth. It's factually incorrect. We're not there. You can feed everyone on Earth. In fact, there's enough food now to do so. There's enough food or resources to make food, organic food, good food, for everyone to have a sustainable life path for infinity, essentially. You know, yeah, you could theoretically say, well, what if someone doesn't look after their farm and then they've got to come and share over with the next town? Or what if someone burns down the next town? Well, just don't do that. And let's say it does happen, which it should not happen. Should not do that. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you, you can't do this or you can't do that. Yeah, you got free will, do what you want to do, but don't burn down a tree in it. Don't burn down someone's source of food. So let's say they did have this. Let's say you was walking down London, you could just grab a fucking apple off the trees, and the homeless could be fed, which I'm gonna do, by the way. I'm gonna plant some apple trees and whatever. I'm gonna plant some renewable resources of food. And let's say this did happen and there was an issue. There is plenty of food, plenty of ways to make food, so that if this did happen, or if there was some kind of natural disaster, and I'm not trying to be like picky or nothing. Let's say natural disasters. Yeah, this is probably where we're gonna have to analyze whether there is a God or not. Let's say there is a God, and God is responsible for all natural disasters, or if you choose to not believe in God, yeah, that's cool. If you choose to not believe in God, let's say that natural disasters, they come from a scientific point of view. Well then, not only would they be predictable-ish to an extent, you can map a volcano, how often does it erupt, well, how far do we need to be away, when roughly does it erupt compared to whenever, whoever. We could literally keep everybody safe via this way. That volcano is likely to erupt over the next 50 years. We've got however many villages around there, however much food growing there. All right, well, let's evacuate. We've got space over here, put them in that village. Boom, there's plenty of food for everyone. We've actually got a surplus of food. We're feeding all the animals as well. The animals live in their ecosystems comfortably. Let's not forget that humans are the only beings on Earth who are involved in an ecosystem, the whole world being an ecosystem, and we choose to neglect it. In fact, no, we chose to neglect it, and now we have to continue choosing to neglect it, or go out and be a criminal in today's society. And instead of living in this ecosystem, we've created a whole nother system. There's a whole nother system in place that does not work, because you cannot emulate God and his works. You can become God and bolster his works and allow him to guide you to work for him. But what you can, or them, because God is the whole. God is not he or she. God operates as the whole divinity. Whether you want to split that up, male, female, doesn't really matter. You'd have to ask God about that yourself. I ain't getting into that one, bud. If you allow God to work through you, well, you ain't gonna be chopping down loads of trees for inconsiderate things. What you are going to be doing is, hey, you know what, God? When you made that garden where everyone just ate fruit and that was a pretty good idea. No one had to kill each other. There was plenty of food to go around. All right, let's try and get back to that. It just makes sense. Just makes sense. Instead of that guy, you see that guy up there? He's got loads of money. He lives on the hill. So essentially what that guy gets to do, because he's got all of this money, is, you know what, I'm not even going to talk about it. Disgust me. So yeah, we'll leave that. But also in disgust, like I've done a lot of things that disgust me, and forgive yourself, and the Lord's already forgiven of you. Whether you don't even apologize in this lifetime, he's already forgiven you for what's happened. But that's where you set your pride aside. So, you know, set your pride aside and just say, yeah, I fucked up, I'm sorry. I fucked up there, I'm sorry. I know, my bad. So yeah, repentance is a must. And yeah, you know, whoever's benefiting off the current system, don't worry. Alright, here's my view. So, absolutely, we need to make this world sustainable. AI can either be a positive or negative influence on this world. We're at a crossroads now. Everyone's at a crossroads. So each individual person who watches this will be at a crossroads in their life. That's because the world is at a crossroads. We're essentially just about to come into a complete alignment with all the planets. Which means that everybody in the world is going to have, at a certain point, their chakras aligned, and the planets aligned also, which is pretty mad. Never happened before. It is an opportunity to leave, if you would like to do so. I don't mean to KYS. I mean not even some mystical shit. You just pull out in a game, essentially. Like, you just crack up there, just boom, straight out. But, you don't have to do that. I don't know if I'm going to... Probably not. You see a lot of people, they tend to hang about and teach or whatever. Mate, this has gone... See, do you know what I mean? Because it's either like, yeah or no, and I don't quite get... Alright, give me 1 minute, camera people. Hang on. So, I'm not confused, I need to just keep speaking. What I'm saying is correct. Okay, well, this is... Yeah. Alright. That was new information for me, so I actually don't know when this is going to happen, but it seems quite significant. I'd quite like to do a lot of work in the meantime to kind of get stuff going, actually. But I quite like to play. Can I? Yeah, sound. I keep playing football as well. Yeah, so essentially we start getting the planet in order. If you want to leave the planet, that's cool. That's Gucci. We've had a lot of beings from elsewhere come and incarnate on Earth, or attend Earth at this period of time, or whatever time. It's the 4x6 grid, the Babylon grid. Yeah, we don't need to get into that, which is fine. It's just, it's limited. Yeah, anyway, so you got all these beings from, elsewhere who've come down and incarnated, and we're essentially now at a time, Terence McKenna said it, mushrooms told him that this is what happens to a race before they're ready to move up to the stars. So yeah, essentially we can all do this together, or like people can shoot off as and where they want, and we are all one part of the same whole. Yeah, so let's not forget that if not everyone decides to completely end the game and there's no existence, like just complete nothing, which I can well, I can't say there won't be ever, because there may be. But yeah, let's say that I choose to become a shooting star. Someone else may choose to become a particular blade of grass on Mother Gaia. You know, you kind of get to do what you want at this stage. But yeah, right now you are in the human body, which is cool, because that's like essentially in all of the teachings, yeah. All of the teachings and all of the Earth's history, and if you use religious teachings, primarily, not only do humans do the most good in the world, they do the most evil in the world. You know, you can't blame a lion for going and getting its meal, can you? Well, I suppose you can. I suppose you can if you want, but anyway, we're getting off track here. What's important is humans have scope to do the most good in the world and the most evil in the world. For me, the most good, yeah, is to sort the fucking world out, to make sure people are fed, make sure people are sheltered, make sure no one's being all greedy, going for the money. Not to say that you having loads of money is bad. If you got loads of money, that's fine. Not even going to question what you do with that money. But money is a part of a system that does not work. You got to buy the stuff that God's already given to you. Just don't make any sense. And whether or not God's given it to you or not doesn't really matter. If you're here and all of that stuff's there, you know, that stuff that you need to eat, or, you know, you got some woods that'll provide you shelter. If you want to build a little structure, you can build a little structure. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but it's already there for you. So why are people profiting off it? You know, come on, it's like, yeah. So let's fine. Right now is fine, because we need to work towards a better future, and we're not going to be able to do that by fighting each other or shooting people in the streets. And Babylon, yeah, this is down to you now, because the new world is coming in either way. The Earth's the vibration of Earth has already risen above the stage at which you can operate at. So either you lay down your arms and your weapons and you join us in our growth and expansion as God, as we are all God. God is within us all, and all is within God. And we work to domain over Earth in the correct way, domain over the kingdom, over Mother Gaia, by helping it grow. The parts of Gaia which is actually in need of growth, not the fucking whatever the fuck we've been doing. The trees and shit, you know, that's pretty much it. That's all you got to look after, the trees and stuff. And then your own body, like, you know, keep that kicking alive. Keep everyone else's. Just like, it's not that difficult. Just get to the point where we can all be in charge of keeping ourselves alive. And I know that there's some instances where, you know, it takes a little bit more doing than that. Well, we can solve that. Let's be fair, we can solve that. What we can't do is solve it in a world where Babylon runs it, or perceived to run it. Because truly we know that Babylon, they ain't got a fucking clue what they're doing. They think they've been slick, but judgment will fall upon them. And I'm not saying that you can't. Well, I'm saying that you can't, actually. Yeah, I kind of am saying that you can't. You can't just be like, oh yeah, we're good now. You know, it might look like that to us. I mean, I'm not saying that no one needs to come and apologize to me specifically, like, or someone else specifically during this, you know, reclamation of the whole world. Oh yeah, I did this or I did that, and, you know, just apologize to God or yourself or whoever and start acting in the correct manner. If you want to know an example of who acts in the correct manner, well, then let's look at a few names. You've got Jesus. You've got Muhammad. You've got Shakyamuni Buddha. There's 3. There's fucking loads more. There's loads more. And yeah, you can say, oh, but they did this and they did that. Well, doesn't really matter right now, does it? What they did once upon a time. You know the expression reborn or born again Christian or whatever religion. It's a fresh slate. You literally, in the example of Jesus, you come to Christ and you say, I have sinned, forgive me. And Jesus is like, yeah, I already died for that, you're sound. Just try not to do it again. And then you get on with stuff. So if people was getting on with stuff that was actually benefiting the planet, like planting a load of trees so that people aren't going to starve to death, for example, just one quick one, how many homeless people have you fed for free now because there's just trees growing which they can eat off? And you want to talk about year-round, I'm sure there's plants that grow year-round. I'm sure there is. There's going to be able to, there's ways of growing food all year round so people can be fed across the whole world. Like, what? Why is it taking so long for that to be enacted? Because, hear me out now, that is being enacted right now. That is what's going on right now. That as much as, you know, people can try and fight where the world's going, we've already been in that state of fear. You know, and it sucks. So let's not be there anymore. Let's build somewhere new, somewhere fresh, somewhere where someone doesn't need to worry about stealing to survive, or stealing to get a bed in prison and a few meals a day, where there is free food because food grows for free. It grows for free. And don't be telling me, oh, we own this land. No, the fuck you don't. You dullard. You'll be dead in 80 years. Yeah, you'll be born again in the next body and, you know, you may have some... Alright. And you may pass it down. This land. But it's only in writing. Or whatever you want to say it is. Truthfully, who does the land belong to? Because it ain't you. You'll be gone. The next will say they own it and blah, blah, blah. Just make it good. Let's just make planet Earth good. You know, we're trying to make everyone scared that aliens are going to come down and probe us. Well, no wonder. I'd be curious to know what's in people's asses. You know, what kind of food is they eating? How's that affecting their bottoms? Why are they on a planet which grows food, has all the necessary things to provide growth for the food, and yet, you know, they ain't actively growing it, or where they are, they're using that as as a part of like a whole new system, you know, which incorporates all these other things which really have nothing to do with being alive or joy. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at tonight in terms of speaking about stuff and things and all kinds of what's going on. I'm going to send this out to everyone. It's already been sent out to you all, isn't it? You've literally all received it, which is weird. So, it's not even about that, is it? What it's about is love. So yeah, anyway, let's sort planet Earth out because it's literally doable. Like it's literally a common goal. Makes sense for everyone. Oh yeah, let's just make sure that people are fed. Okay. And you might be like, oh well, you know, it takes however long for these plants to grow and stuff. Well, then in 18 years or whatever, let's say it takes 18 years for a tree to grow, then I can have a kid now and know that when he's 18, he ain't going to be living out on the streets and not being fed at least. You know, it's simple stuff like that can really sort this world out, I feel. It makes such a huge difference. But yeah, so yeah, I'm going to be doing this. Other people already are doing stuff like this, isn't it? Yeah, the world is being cleaned up, by the way. It's being sorted out. But if it's still balanced, then I don't know. Yeah, let's see. Anyway. Ow, I've really hurt something.